This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm very excited to be speaking with Kaitlin Olson about hacks. How are you, Kaitlin?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good. We spoke a couple of years ago before the show started with Hannah and Jean, because I feel like even though Jean's been around for a while, you might have been the most well-known of those three people at the time when HBO, like at Max, were launching this new show.
Not anymore.
What what has it been like to sort of be part of this show, but not like a series regular?
I love it. I think it's such an incredible show. I think that Jean and Hannah are both so amazing, and um I love that it's their show, and I love popping in and having really fun things to do. It's like it's the best of both worlds. It's so fun, and they're just so great, and I love being in scenes with both of them, and it's just a really special. It's a special place, and it's not always like that.
What do you relate to most about DJ?
Um, I relate to most. Well, I like when people like me, but not maybe as much as she does. I don't know. What I love about her is that she's very broken and very needy and like pretends to be really independent and fine all by herself, but all she really wants is her mom's attention and approval. And there's just something so funny to me about a broken character who's desperately clawing to be recognized for some anything. I feel like she'll try anything to get her mom's attention, and that's very funny to me.
Do you feel like you are prone to endeavors that might not be so well advised, and other people tell you that, but you still just like, I'm going to make a go of this, and it's going to be successful?
I feel like one thing we have in common is I definitely use all of those past experiences of people maybe not believing in me to build this chip on your shoulder to drive you to success. And I would say that she has had some great success this season. If it doesn't have to be financial, she finally figures out that her mom is human and fallible, and that's a huge success for her. And I she's 40 plus years of neglect kind of, and just not really being well cared for or loved as much as she wanted to be in a way that she wanted to be, to build all those chips on her shoulder to then finally have this like not revenge moment, but I don't know what you call it, like a success for her.
Yeah, I know that I was nervous, as I'm sure many watching were, about what was going to happen with the roast, especially after all the worry of not really being funny. And what was it like just building to that pretty impressive moment?
It was so much fun. I love that you get the catchphrase at the very beginning, so you know like what her plan is, and you're like, no, 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 don't do that. And I think it was just such a great surprise that it actually ended up working for her. And what I love the most is that she went to these professionals. She went to Ava for advice, was given the advice, did it anyway, was told by her mom not to do it, and believed in herself. I think it's like really the first time that you see DJ relying on herself rather than relying on her mom for something. Like she really believed in herself, and she committed and she made it work, and it was just so much fun. And it was fun playing the turn of just being kind of attacked right before she went up on stage in front of all those people and feeling completely gutted and the butt of the joke, and still getting up there as nervous as she was and turning it around, and just being proud of herself. I think it's the first time she's been proud of herself, and she wasn't she wasn't she didn't have redemption because her mom was proud. She filled that for herself, which I thought was pretty good.
We also had a great, if not quite as dramatic, reveal about a certain character finally showing up after hearing so much about her. What was it like sharing scenes with the fantastic J. Smith Cameron?
uh, uh Unbelievable. She is so kind and so sweet, and just very much like Aunt Kathy, very much like her character. She just was so she's just such a talented woman. It was so I'm in awe of her. I love her and everything she's done, but she's just such a giving scene partner, and she was so lovely. And that softness for D, I just was excited that DJ has a very like a motherly figure in her life, especially now that she's pregnant and has a whole new dynamic with her own mom. I mean, I just loved that Aunt Kathy's the one who gave her the crib first. And it's just like this secret that she's been keeping that she has all to herself. Yeah, it's just that's such a great dynamic, the three of them.
Absolutely. And I don't know why we don't have news yet on season 4. I'm hoping just people are, waiting to the finale to announce it or something. What do you expect? Do you think that DJ is going to be a big part of this and being a grandmother is going to be a big thing? Or Deborah's not really going to do as well as she should, and it's still going to be a little bit of an afterthought?
I don't know. That's really interesting. I haven't heard anything. I think it would be really fascinating to have Deborah really want to step up and be a grandmother, and maybe it's a little bit too late for DJ. And then she's got to sort of grovel a little bit. I think that would feel really good to have the tables turned and have her mom want to get back in her life. And I can see how that would be complicated because it would be, well, you don't really want me, you want the baby, and then that could lead to more jealousy. Jealousy is always fun.
Well, not being a series regular, you don't get to interact with that many people in the cast. If you could write the script, who would you get to share scenes with that you haven't yet?
That I haven't yet. Gosh, will I not? Well, I mean, I've done the Christmas and I've done my birthday, so I've been in scenes with a bunch of people. Christopher Lloyd. I mean, Christopher Lloyd for sure. Let's bring him back for every episode, and I'll do all my scenes with Hannah and Jean and Christopher. It'll be a
Um,
spin-off.
there's another show that just ended this year, which you weren't part of this season, but you were a memorable part of a few years ago, which is Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I would
Yes.
have loved to see Becky come back and just provide Larry a reminder of just how terrible a person he is. What was it like being part of that show?
uh Incredible. I mean, I don't know how many times they could bring me back, because I mean, what Larry loves best is when I'm screaming at him, and that's just so much fun. It's what he loves best about whatever everyone's character. um that show's especially rewarding because it's all improvised. And I mean, I'm sure you've heard this, but when Larry calls to ask you to do an episode, he won't tell you what the episode's about, which for someone like me is so unnerving, because you got to show up and he doesn't want you to prepare, which is fine, but give me an idea of what's gonna happen so I can like mentally prepare. But it keeps you on your toes. It's very fresh. It's so fun working with Larry. He's the best. Um, and and when it's successful, like there's extra pride in that, because there's nothing written. So that's like, it's such a fun show. It's hard and
I
it's
do,
great.
I, I do think you channel rage pretty well in all across all of your roles. And
Yeah,
one of the
right.
things I
My
thought
ghost.
about when I knew I'd be speaking with you, I was thinking about the movie Arizona, which I think occupies a very, special place in genre. And I know that Danny McBride, I'm sure, has to be a formidable scene partner. Do you enjoy doing that kind of really, sort of over the top, but still within your wheelhouse role?
Yes, I absolutely love. I think I was always fascinated by this growing up and watching actors. I'm fascinated with people who can get as big as humanly possible but still keep it grounded and not go into like cartoon character world. So I think because I was always so appreciative of that, watching it growing up, that's like my favorite thing to do is just um like explosive emotion, but that's still grounded, that like it's still an actual human being. And that's just, I don't know, yelling at people is funny. Yelling at men is funny. I don't know. I can't explain why, but it's universal.
Well, on the note of yelling at men, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has had a very nice, long and healthy run. I know that when I first spoke to the creators of Hacks, they're like, "Oh, Caitlin's in it, so we have to run, whatever it was at that point, 14,
Yeah.
15 seasons." How does
Yeah.
it feel to just have this project that follows you actively through so much of your career?
It's kind of indescribable. Like it's just, it's so surreal to look back on the life of the show and how far we've come. And I mean, I married one of them and we have 2 kids together. Um, it's also just like it feels like you've got this family that you can always go home to and you can like spread your wings and do other things and play other characters. And I think it does help you take, I think I can speak for all of us, it helps us take more risks on other characters to play because um it's not like, okay, now I'm fully committing to this thing and have to turn my back on everything else. We can take risks, do other projects, do other characters, and we always have this to come back to. And Dee's one of my favorite characters in the entire world. I'd play her for the rest of my life.
Well, I know that you're doing something new soon, which from what I've read feels like a departure from what you've done in the past. What can you preview about High Potential?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what one of the things I'm talking about. It's a very different character. High Potential is an hour-long procedural drama. My character's still fun and goofy, but she's a mother of 3, and she's a total mess. And but she has an incredibly high IQ, and finds that she has a knack for helping. She's a cleaning lady in a police precinct. Um, and just accidentally stumbles into figuring out that she's got this knack for solving cases that's almost like a neuroses. Like she sees that they're missing things and can't go to sleep at night without like righting the wrongs. Um, so it's kind of a fish out of water thing. It's a very fun character. It's an hour long, so she's much more well-rounded and human. And she's got 3 kids. There's a lot of heart and emotion in it. It's still very fun and it's a procedural, so it's exciting.
That sounds exciting. We
Yeah.
also here at Awards Buzz, we love awards. And I'm curious if there is a show or performance you've seen recently that you feel is particularly awards worthy.
I have to say, well, number one, I've been shooting full time, so I've been watching a ton of things, but I'm not kidding when I say I think Jean Smart is just on top of her game this season. I'm loving everything that she's doing. Her range is just incredible. She is, yeah, she's just a masterclass in great acting.
Well, thank you so much, Caitlin, for taking some time to speak with me today. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.